Losing your job is absolutely traumatic. I mean, you start thinking about, oh my goodness, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to be able to live and pay rent, my mortgage, or whatever it might be? But I'm here to tell you, getting laid off or losing your job can be one of the best things that has ever happened to you. Hey guys, Dustin Heiner here with Master Passive Income. I'm going to share with you a quote that I learned that I completely thought is just a bad quote. But here's the quote. It says, it's not if you lose your job, but when you lose your job. And we already know that if you lose your job, you're all of a sudden losing the ability to be able to pay your bills, let alone get food on the table. And so it can be very traumatic. Now, it's not if, and I'm actually living proof of this. Now, if you're looking at this, you can see the kids in my background in my screen. I have 4 kids. Let me tell you a story of how I became successfully unemployed. Now, when you have 4 kids, you have to make sure you put food on the table, put a roof over their heads, make sure they have diapers and clothing and all that sort of stuff. It's not just about yourself. And then if you don't have a job, if you don't have a way to make money to be able to pay for those things, they're depending on you. Well, I actually got laid off right after I had my 4th child. So let me tell you the story, and then I figured out how to make sure that I didn't let this happen to me ever again. And even though I got laid off, I figured out a way. This was the catalyst that got me into be able to not have to work a job ever again. And I'm going to give you the story because hopefully this is going to open your eyes to see it's absolutely possible for you to not have to work for somebody else, but still be able to make money for you, yourself and your family. I have always been entrepreneurial in my life. I've always had the idea of starting a business and becoming my own boss, but it never really worked out. Like I had a paper route, you ride a bike and you have the newspapers and you take the newspaper and you throw it at 5 a.m. and bang the garage door and wake up people. I had that business. I've had a graphic and website design business, a skateboard manufacturing business on top of that. I had a convenience store and pizzeria, all the while having a full-time job and having a family. Now, that ability to feed my family got ripped out from under me, and I'm going to share with you how I actually made sure that it could never happen to me again. As I was having my wife, after my wife was having child after child, I was working a regular 9 to 5, I call it a JOB. You're living just over broke because you're working for somebody else. It's a regular 9 to 5 job in one of the counties in California, a regular government job, so I felt like everything was secure. And I'm working, and my wife has our 4th child. And I go on paternity leave after she has our 4th child. And a paternity leave is where the dad stays home. Dad stays home and changes poopy diapers, bonds with the baby, helps the mommy and all that sort of stuff. And after about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I go back to work. And that week that I get back to work, I get a call on a Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon. I get a call from my boss's secretary. She says, "Dustin, would you please come to the office?" I said, "Sure." And then I hung up the phone. And then I paused for a second. And I thought, why are they calling me to the office? This isn't normal. I haven't been back long enough to have to do anything wrong or right. This is weird. And it's Friday at 3:30. So I sit there and I start remembering back before I went on paternity leave, about 2 or 3 months before, there was some rumors or some rumblings going on that there might be layoffs in the county department that I was working for because they were running low on revenue or money coming in, tax money coming in. And as I'm sitting there in the chair, I immediately shake that off. Like, no way. I have so much seniority here. Nobody gets fired or laid off from the government. This is totally fine. My bosses love me. I get raises. I actually get good reviews, all that sort of stuff. So I get up and then I walk down the hallway to my boss's office. Now, this hallway is not very long. It's actually rather short. But every single step that I take, it feels like the hallway gets longer and longer and longer. And it feels like my feet turn into lead bricks. At the same time, it feels like the weight of the world starts coming on my shoulders because it starts dawning on me that I could actually lose my job right here. And as I make my way down the hallway, I get to the end and I turn the corner. I see my boss's door. It's closed. And I see his secretary, really, really nice lady, nice old lady. She looks at me and sheepishly she grins and says, "Dustin, would you please have a seat?" And she's consoling me with her eyes because she knows everything about what's going on. I know nothing about what's going on. So I go and I sit down in that chair. And I sit there and I'm waiting for the boss to come out. And as I am thinking about my family, thinking about all these years working a dead-end JOB, it seems like if this is taken away from me, oh my goodness, what is that going to happen? Like all these years working this job, is that all a waste of time? Well, as I'm sitting there, my hands get all clammy, my forehead gets all sweating because I am getting so concerned about losing my job. It feels like the weight of the world is just crushing down on me. Well, as I'm sitting there, the door to my boss's office opens up, and out walks a lady with a piece of paper in her hands. She is noticeably distraught, noticeably upset, and she's not necessarily crying, but you can tell her world has absolutely been rocked. Then, as she passes by me, my coworker passes by me, my boss says, Dustin, would you please come into my office? Well, I get in there and I get laid off. Remember, this is the government. Nobody gets fired or laid off the government, but I did. And so I get that layoff notice and I walk back down that short hallway to my office and I sit in my chair. And I realize two things right then and there. Number one, I need to get another job. I need to be able to provide for my family. I need to make sure that I have money so that they can actually have food on the table. So I was really blessed, praise the Lord, to be able to find another job in the same county, a whole nother department. It was a sheriff's department, such a great department to work for. I actually was just doing IT work and I got a job there, worked year after year. And the second thing that I realized right then and there was that I need to make sure that this never, ever happened to me again, and that nobody has the ability to remove my ability to provide for my family and give them food on the table. And so right then and there, I realized now I'm going to make sure, because I've always wanted to do this, but I never did because I was scared. I said, now I am an investor. No matter what, I'm always going to be an investor. It might so happen that 100% of my money comes from my job. That's my part-time job. I am now a full-time investor. From there, whenever anybody would ask me the question, they ask you this question too. They say, well, Dustin, what do you do? They're basically asking you and me, what's your value? What value do you put on yourself? I would normally just answer the question, oh, I do IT work for the county, and that's basically my job. But I was putting my value in my job. When we answer it that way, we're projecting out the value that we put on ourselves. No longer would I ever say that. From now on, I always said, because I made this commitment in my mind, I am an investor. So everybody I would ever talk to say, I'm an investor. And from that point, worked many years for the county, 5 or 6 more years. I bought rental property after rental property. I made sure that every single rental property made me $250 or more in passive income from every single one. And after buying property after property, 30 plus properties later, I literally had enough money where I didn't need to work. Because if you realize, if you buy one house that makes you $250 a month in passive income, then you have $3,000 a year in passive income from not working with that one property. But if you just multiply that out, if you had 10 properties making you $250 a month, that's $2,500 a month not working. That's $30,000 a year in passive income. If you had 20 properties, that's $5,000 a month in passive income. That is $60,000 a year without working. And you just do the math, add it up, figure out what your expenses are. And this is what I did. I knew my expenses were $4,200 a month in passive income. So I bought property after property where I eventually had enough money coming in passive income that I didn't need to work. And you need to realize that your value is so much more than anybody could ever pay you. I'll give you an example why, or how you would know. Your boss is only paying you just enough to keep you working without quitting, but not so much that takes money out of their pocket. And then as you build up your business, as you find a way to make money, I did real estate investing that got me to where I literally didn't need to work. Now I was able to quit my job. Now all of my time now goes to building more businesses, buying more properties, because instead of building up somebody else's business, why don't I build my own business? Why don't I build many businesses and hire people? So for me, when I got laid off, or I basically lost my job, that was the best thing that ever happened to me because it shook me. It made me realize, man, even though I think this job, this job, is secure, it's absolutely not secure. In fact, remember, I worked for the government. That is the most secure job you could ever have. But I got laid off. If I can get laid off and then change it in my mind to where now I'm going to make this a catalyst for me to be successfully unemployed, you can too. So what's going to happen is eventually you're going to get laid off. You're going to get fired. You're going to lose your job somehow. You need to then turn that around to be a good thing. Realize there was something that you were going to be doing with your life that you just kept putting off. Maybe it could be starting a business, starting investing, whatever it might be. Use that as the catalyst, the way that's going to make you become either the investor, the business owner, whatever it might be, to get you into where getting laid off is the absolute best thing for you. Now, what I did was I bought property after property. What you might do is start a business, but what you need to do is turn that on its head. Getting laid off is the absolute best thing for you. And so turn around something that could be detrimental to you. Smash that like video. If you got anything out of this video, watch my channel because I give out so much great insights on how you can invest in real estate. I'll see you guys in the next one.